Hi everyone, welcome back. Well, today I'm up at the Pyrewanning Expo, which is north of Perth in the wheat belt, and I came across this Chamberlain sitting in the back corner. I'm not sure if this is the Chamberlain Super 90 or the Super 70. I'm not sure quite how to tell the difference on them, but both these tractors had a 3-cylinder GM diesel in them, and these were made between 1954 and 1968, and for that era in Western Australia these would have been huge tractors. The Super 70 is rated at just under 70 horsepower. The Super 90 is rated at around 90 horsepower. So these are a 2-stroke GM in here. This is the supercharger on the side here, the blower, and these were a really good engine. You had to be a bit careful with the blowers that the seals didn't leak too much. They had 2 huge air cleaners on them to try and get enough volume and to keep the dust out, or to keep the air cleaners clean long enough while you were working them hard. These are quite an iconic tractor. There's not many of them left now, and you pay a huge amount of money if you can ever get hold of them. This one has live hydraulics with a hydraulic pump on the front that runs directly off the crankshaft back to your valve box here. Big fuel tank up in the top here. These were just a welded chassis, pretty basic chassis that Chamberlain made up. This one's got jewels on. They look quite small on a tractor this size, and compared to any modern jewels you see. The driver's platform on this is a little bit unusual. Steering wheel and accelerator up here. Now these ones had a hand operated clutch on them. It's an over center lever, so that's disengaged there. You pull it right back to engage it. Foot brakes with a handbrake lever over here, and the brakes have a really unusual mechanism. The handbrake pivot comes down here and swings on this lever here. The foot brakes work, they're steering brakes, so they work on one side and the other. The mechanism looks a bit strange when you're using it. These have I think these are still a 9G, so they've got 3 speeds range and 3-speed main gearbox on them. It's a little while since I've driven one of these, so but the range lever doesn't move just straight up and down. It's got a bit of an L shape that it moves in. Pretty basic dashboard, but it does include an hour meter, which is nice. Amp meter, temperature and oil pressure. No tachometer on these yet, but at least some of them had speed markings on your hand throttle. As long as that was set up correctly, that gave you a good enough idea of how fast you were running it. They do have a PTO, but these tractors were generally used just as a pulling tractor for ploughs and seed and that sort of thing. So these are a fantastic tractor, and would have been an absolute monster when they were brand new. Very few tractors would have been in the WA wheat belt would have been matching the power of these that you could just buy off the shelf. A few homemade modified ones that were up around that sort of horsepower or more, but yeah, these were a fantastic tractor. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little walk around, and I hope to see you again next time. Thanks, bye.